Well, after 6 months of traveling around South America and living out of our suitcase with our 2-year-old, we are finally back in the Mojave Desert.
And we love it.
So grateful to be home. It was definitely quite the adventure in the past 6 months, half year. And we're already halfway through 2024. And yeah, now finally reflecting, sitting down and having a chance to catch up and catch you guys up about where we have been and what we've been up to.
The past 6 months we were gone teaching 2 teacher trainings in the Sacred Valley in Peru, and also 2 yoga and ayahuasca retreats in the coast of Ecuador. We want to congratulate all the 70 new yoga teachers that graduated from our program. It was so lovely to spend so much time with you in this immersive, intense school environment. And we are also so grateful to have met all the people at the retreats.
Over the course of 3 weeks at the teacher training, we quickly became family. The day started really early for us, at least 4:30 in the morning, prepping our own movement class, going through what we're actually teaching. And then we would have the 2 to 3 hour strong morning class, and then heading back to the yoga studio where we would do lectures for several hours. And then the afternoon it lifts up and then it's sunny. So it was always nice for that afternoon break to go outside, and people would be handstanding and doing acro yoga and kicking the ball for soccer before we came back inside for several more hours and did more lectures and asana lab and practice teaching and all of that. So the days were very long. We would get back in bed around 9:30 at night and start all over again. So that was 3 weeks, pretty intensive training, but that's just how it was. And we just really enjoyed the time.
If you're wondering what the teacher training is, it pretty much takes you from being a student, not knowing how to teach, to being a teacher. So the intention for us is to prepare you to be able to teach in-person classes in a yoga studio. So every graduate has to submit and teach their final class, which is a 1-hour class, to a small group. Throughout the whole 3 weeks, it's pretty much going to school again. You pack your bag with your notebook and your manual and all the things you need, so that after morning practice, you are just in school. You're lecturing, you're learning, you're practicing, you have to do homework. There's little quizzes, there's lots of teaching practice since day 1 and also every day. So lots of practice to prepare you to teach a really kick-ass class in the end. And then when you graduate, you are more than well prepared from the sequencing side, the anatomy, the knowledge, your own practice, and also the business of yoga side to go out there and share your practice.
And wow, we were absolutely blown away at the finals that these teachers were teaching. Even just after 3 weeks of training and being able to teach a 1-hour class that was so smooth, so well-rounded, so functional, safe, just beautiful classes. Like at the end of every class, I was almost in tears, just like, wow, I can't believe this was your first class. It seems like you've been teaching for years. However it was for them, they brought in their own flavor, their own touch, and it was just so beautiful to witness. So huge congratulations to the 70 students that graduated from our academy. And we will have a directory up on our website very soon if it's not already there. If the student did decide to teach public classes, then they are going to be listed there in the directory. So maybe you can find a Breathe and Flow teacher near you and you can actually go take in-person classes with some of these incredible teachers.
Of course, before, during and after the teacher trainings, we also filmed some more classes which are going to be released here and also on the Wolfpack platform. In fact, we just released a 3-hour class that we filmed during the teacher training. So it was one of the morning practices with the whole group with instruments and chanting and meditation, breath work, like a really nice, holistic, well-rounded class, which is what we do every day in our in-person events. And this is also what people are learning that come to our teacher training.
If this 3-hour masterclass intrigues you, then maybe give it a try. It's almost the same cost as any drop-in at a local studio. So you also get not only that class, but 800 other classes and over a dozen programs. So there's a ton of stuff on there. Maybe you can check it out and see if you would enjoy a 3-hour live masterclass.
We are grateful to have spent 3 months in Peru, especially in the mountains of Peru near Cusco, in the Sacred Valley. It's a beautiful city with cobblestone streets, wonderful architecture, really nice community. The local people are just all so friendly and welcoming, especially if you are behaving well and trying some Spanish. It opens many doors and people are just so welcoming and helpful.
We were able to visit a lot of ruins while we were there, also the Temple of the Moon and a few other ones around Cusco. And we were also fortunate enough to head to Machu Picchu twice with both of our groups of teacher training. So we got to bring all 40 of our students with us for each of the events, which was an incredible experience to be able to go to that sacred Inca ruins a couple of times and visit that too.
Cusco is also an amazing place when it comes to vegan restaurants. There's such a big variety, so many amazing, beautiful restaurants, really delicious food. And then you can always walk around, go to markets, go to a restaurant, go here, go there, go to some ruins. So it's great to not have to drive and pretty much walk through the whole city. It is very stretched out, very long city. And you can still walk to a lot of places, especially in the historic district where a lot of things are really concentrated. Plus it's on high altitude, so everything you do there, even just walking up the stairs, is amazing high altitude training. For all of our students, we gave them some guidelines to prepare for the high altitude that everyone followed. And it's very individual how it affects you and your body. For some, it's very quick to adjust, for some it takes longer. But after spending some time in Cusco, then we went down in the elevation to the Sacred Valley for teacher training, so it's a lot more manageable, a lot more doable.
And then a few days before we left Peru, we took a nice car ride and headed up to Rainbow Mountain. And that was one of the highest places that we have ever been in elevation, which is almost the same height as Everest Base Camp.
It's very interesting to feel the effects of such strong high altitude at almost 5,000 meters when you all of a sudden get tunnel vision, you feel some ringing in the ears, you feel your heart beating, you have to just stand and breathe and then continue. It's a very interesting experience how just being so high up makes such a short walk so incredibly challenging. And of course it forces you to take the time, enjoy the beautiful nature around.
Being able to take a walk for 1 minute and then stop and you can hear nothing except your own breath, and just to look around at the space and to know the history around the area of so many people over so many years, giving to Pachamama and honoring the elements and really blessing the earth, blessing the mother and all of the elements, really just to be in that space without any distractions. It was a memory that we're never gonna forget. In between the two teacher trainings, we headed over to Ecuador around December, January, February to host 2 of our yoga and plant medicine retreats with our beautiful family and community there, the IU Medicina team. And that was also an incredible experience, also to be there around the change of the new year. We had some students travel with us that attended the teacher training, and they were also attending the retreat. So we got to stay close to them, a handful of them, several of them, and we hung out with them almost every day in our own little community bubble before the actual retreat started. And that was also a really amazing experience, just to share so many meals and walks at the beach. And they would come over, we'd play cards, and we made some music. One of them is an incredible musician and producer, so we had some fun creating some music as well.
IU Medicina moved to a new location and they expanded the land, so they now have an incredible yoga deck. They have 2 Temazcal sweat lodges for different amounts of people, a beautiful maloca for the ceremony, and many other little details that they put on their land. And it's still growing, it's still expanding, and it was so nice to be back, also to bring Ilo back to his home country and to spend again time with the family around the fire. Some people thought that when they sign up, it's a yoga and plant medicine retreat, meaning yoga and vegan food. So they just signed up and then they read more later. And then when they read more after they signed up, they saw that plant medicine is actually ayahuasca, San Pedro, and all the other offerings that our medicine guides are offering. And then they were happily surprised that this retreat included all of these. This is what the path was for us too, that there were many offerings, never felt really right. And since we have met Em and Juanita from IU Medicina and with the whole team, it just felt perfectly right and absolutely in sync. Many retreats we have done with them, and we are happy to provide the same for those people that are curious but not really sure where to go, who to trust. So we want to thank all of those people that were brave enough to come down to Ecuador to really look at themselves, to shine the light on their whole being, the dark sides that we try to suppress and the light sides, and just look at everything in a very neutral way. And then it's again up to them and up to you to take action and what you do with all the insights and everything that you have learned.
And to clarify for the people that didn't realize that plant medicine didn't mean plant-based food, we did catch that and learn that during the orientation calls that we do with each person individually, one-on-one with someone from the IU Medicina team. We all sit down, schedule a video call before they can actually commit to it, to also make sure that they're very clear with their vision and their purpose and meaning for going forward and taking the journey.
Between and after the retreats, we had the time to sit down again with Emmy and Juanita, our medicine guides, and to record some more conversations with them. I'm sure you know the womb wisdom video that Bre recorded with Juanita. That is very, very informative, and we highly recommend you check it out if you have not yet. And we recorded Womb Wisdom Part 2 and also another video that I filmed with Emmy together. These are coming out sometime very soon, but they are very profound, insightful and useful conversations we highly recommend you check out once they are available. Now that we're back home, we are taking 2 years off from in-person events. This should be not a surprise. We told you and told you and told you, so we repeat ourselves, but we are now just here. We're focusing on other projects, and we will not offer any in-person events for the next 2 years, which allows us now to spend some time on new exciting programs, really big programs, really big offerings. So we're not talking about classes, we're not talking about a 5-video program, we're talking about really big offerings that are coming out. Share more with you in the Wolfpack platform, especially in the monthly video call that we do with the whole community. And of course, the people on the newsletter will also find out very soon what we are up to. This is also the right moment to mention that if you are interested in future events, retreats, teacher trainings, or any other kind of offerings, they will only be announced over the newsletter. The link, of course, is below for you to sign up. However, our IU Medicina team is like the fire. It keeps going non-stop, and they, of course, still have offerings. They already have bookings open for the next year. They also include yoga. Of course, they include the medicine, the temazcal, the meals, all the wisdom, all the practices that they share, and we highly, highly recommend it. At this point, we cannot recommend anyone else when it comes to medicines and going so deep on your journey. They are just such an amazing team. They create this amazing experience and container for you to safely explore who you are, who the passenger inside is. So it goes hand in hand with what we're teaching, what we're practicing, what we're offering as well.
And if you don't feel like plant medicine is calling you yet, or for whatever reason you never want to do it, that's also perfectly fine. And we can still recommend that you go to the coast of Ecuador and explore the culture and to attend a sweat lodge. Then that's also an opportunity for you to maybe explore something new, try a new culture, and feel a whole lot of love from some people who are on the devotion, on the path to giving it. So it is there for you, open to receive if that feels like something you want to explore.
We're not telling you to do it. We're not telling you to not do it. If you had the feeling, you understand. If not, just keep watching. We will, however, not stop talking about it because it's such a big part of what we do, and it maybe requires then your patience to ignore it.
The only way that we're able to teach these live events is to have nannies with us. So we're really grateful to have our nanny Lua, who I mentioned is Emmy's daughter. She traveled with us also for both Peru and Ecuador. So we had her for all 4 events, which is amazing. She is basically with us the whole 6 months. And then we also had Naya for our second teacher training. She was Ilo's doula, so she was there for the birth in Ecuador. And Ilo for sure remembered her scent, her voice. It was so sweet when they first met. It was like this magic in his eyes. And that was really beautiful as well. And our third nanny, who was with us actually under our roof the entire time of 6 months, was my beautiful mother. She kind of unexpectedly moved in with us here in Las Vegas in September. 1 month later, we hit the road and she came with us. And she was our traveling nanny for the past 6 months. She is part of our family and under our roof. And now I can no longer throw into vlogs and be like, shh, don't tell my mom, because most likely she's with us. It's for sure a big change in our family dynamic, but we're so grateful and so blessed to have her support, and to have her here. It's very different, but it's beautiful, and we're just so grateful.
As we have mentioned in a previous video where we highlighted the entire Breathe and Flow team, we again want to thank the team because we could not do it without them. We had assistants from our team. Charlie and AJ assist the teacher training, and without them it really would not have worked. All the little random requests and setting up the projector, organizing cleaning, taking care of people that were out for a little bit, and all these things, we could not do it without them. And we want to again thank Charlie and AJ for being the assistants for the teacher training. We will also have information in the description below where you can learn more about our team. And of course, last but not least, we want to thank you for still being here with such a long video, for still being here maybe after many years of practice. We know it's not an easy path and it requires lots of willpower. So we want to thank you for going on this path, for sticking around for however long you've been around, 1 day, 1 hour, or 5 years. We want to truly thank you from the bottom of our heart. We are doing this for you. In return, could not do it without you. We hope that we can have you someday in our in-person events, meet you face to face and give you a nice hug.
Until then, we'll be sending you lots of love and some virtual hugs as well.
Much love and gratitude.
That's my virtual hug.
We hug way better in person. It's not so robotic.
True.
All right, see you next time. Much love and gratitude.
Namaste. Oh my God, if my ankle wasn't asleep, I would have jumped up and actually hugged the camera. Do you want to go on a race? Do you want to go run? Oh my God, it's so uncomfortable.